Hey, what's up, everyone? Right now, I am cooking, but I wanted to make a documentation style video, a sort of a vlog, if you will. But I want to talk about the evolving crisis, the impending economic, sociological, psychological, physiological crisis that we see, the evolving not only economic but this way of life that we have now, the structure breaking down. What you see, I titled this "Change in an Unchanging Cycle" because right now it's a sad world. You see millions of people, hundreds of millions have just up and quit their jobs. Job rates are at a record low. Now they're blaming it on the fact that people don't want to work. Oh, this person doesn't want to get a job, that person doesn't want a job. What they are ignoring is the fact that it's not that. Now, some people out there don't want to do anything. Some people out there don't want their situation to improve at all. But the problem is, you can't see an improving situation in an unchanging world. A cycle that does not want to change. People say, well, you are the change. But that's not the complete truth. They say be the change you want to see in the world, but it's got to start at the ones that are running the shebang. Probably wasting my time talking about it because everyone already knows this. But you can't change what's controlled. People want change for the better, but you see job openings. You see job openings happening in this world right now. Yes. You see availability of people having the ability to work, the workforce, but you also see a lot of forced implementation, forced mandates, control, and higher prices. In a controlled world, you see higher prices and wages not increasing to match the rising cost of income. I guess you'd probably say I'm preaching to the choir, right? Because you probably already know. But why would people be quitting their jobs at a record rate when in fact this whole nation, a majority of the people who were already struggling are going broke? Well, they want to see change, and they want to stop. They want to see the control broken down. They want to see the breakdown of that control. They're tired of being told, slave away your entire life for a minimal amount when you get old, for a minimal amount when you get of older age. If you're lucky, draw some Social Security that you paid in taxes your entire life. They're tired of being told that they have to keep working their rear off to get somewhere that, in an ever-changing world, that never seems to let them get anywhere. They want to see true positive change, the power of manifestation. Large groups of people rising up to create a better world and a better tomorrow. They want to see something better and no, I'm not saying destroy this system, destroy that system. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm saying improve upon the great parts of the systems we have, improve on it for the everyday people. But they're not going to do that because we're in a cycling system that only improves their life. everything we do only improves their way of life, makes them more. All the financial systems we have only improve the rich elites. George Soros, Fauci, this leader we supposedly have in charge, if you want to call him that right now, Bezos, Zuckerberg, all those people. It only Gates, Mr. Gates, it only makes them richer. They get more power. They get power hungry, power drunk, and continue to remain in charge. Soros being one of the big ones. And we see a very small percentage of the individuals running this whole shebang have enough money to pave the way for pretty much all of our way of life for years and years. And yet they won't share a fraction of that wealth. Now recently I saw Mark Cuban do something really good. My mama spoke about this morning. She told me Mark Cuban was helping people trying to bring the price of medicine down. One guy's medicine was $10,000 a month, and he brought it down to below $50. Now that, with some new medical system, he's trying to do a breakthrough system. That is great. That's the kind of change we need to see. One that doesn't just benefit the elites. And if we continue to just let those individuals continue to grow in power and never spread this wealth, and every system's always going to be the same. The rich get richer, poor get poorer, and you die struggling. No one wants to see that. We want to see prosperity and positivity and greatness. In an unchanging world, actually in an ever-changing world that never seems to change its basic principles and structures, you can't go back to bartering. That's not what I mean. You have to have some sort of monetary system to trade for goods and services, otherwise we'd be trading what we have for something someone else has, and there wouldn't be enough supplies to go around. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go back to bartering. No, that's not. And if you went toward, and I'm not talking socialism, I'm not talking that either, or communism, heck to the no. Because people always say, well, you must be for socialism, you must be for communism. No. No. I'm saying there's flaws in all these systems, but we're in one that works. The capitalist system, it works. And you're going to argue with me, I'm sure, many people, but it works, but too many people are taking advantage of it, and the rich get richer. They don't spread that wealth. They don't help people out. That's why people are quitting their jobs at record rates. That's why people are quitting and stopping what they're doing, because they realize they're not going to get anywhere. It's not benefiting them in the long run. Spiritually, physically, mentally, it's not manifesting the reality that they want to see. And if something, I used to always say, if something is not working for you, change it. If something is not and hard work, I know, people really hard work, it can be the roots of many great things. The farmers throughout history, the hunter-gatherers throughout history have paved the way to many great things, and then many others took advantage of it and rose to the top and created some hard times for others. And you see people who were homeless. It's really sad. People I've known have talked about people being homeless and having children and forced to just leave their job because of certain requirements, or being told that they're, laid off and all this stuff, or just not giving people enough financial, monetary gain to get by, not compensating for the rise of cost, and these people struggle, and then they're without a job, and they're left on the street with children and family members, or alone, sometimes alone. It's a sad world. But you still see people, even in a time of crisis, quitting their job at record rates because they want to see something greater. They want to see prosperity. That's what they want to see. I know I'm speaking something everyone already knows. Everyone already knows that in this system the rich get richer, but it would be nice to see the spread of commonwealth, and it would be nice to see people help each other out. I know no one's going to go back to a system where they, everyone has to do all of that, though. Everyone has to live like that. No one's going to want to do that, because not everyone is capable of doing that. And then some of these systems out there take advantage of it. If you're inferior, they just get rid of you, and that's wrong. Some countries, I can't say, they will remove you if you are what they deem inferior. It's horrible. But we need to see a system where people can all have equal opportunity to flourish, which is what America is supposed to be about. All having equal opportunity to flourish and grow and see better times ahead. But they've developed it into something where only a minute, small amount of individuals in charge are able to gain any sort of expansion or enjoyment, or any sort of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Only a minute few are able to actually get any sort of, not profit, but any sort of fruits from this system, so to speak, for lack of a better word. Only a minute few are able to reap the fruits of a system run by elitists like we see today. There'll always be bad people, don't get me wrong. Yes, there'll always be bad people. There'll always be people who get something you don't have, who have a higher status than you. No matter what kind of a system you try to form, there's always going to be people who have something you don't, or think they're greater than you are, or want to take what you have. That's the way it was in the Wild Wild West. But in today's world of instantaneous technology, ever-expanding communications, the grid, and with the advancements of, they're not using the AI for the better reason, but with the advancements of all this technology, the technological advancements we see, and the ability to do things that the past individuals could have never dreamed of, and we can't use it to bring food and clean water and shelter and monetary gain to everyone in need. There's no excuse. There needs to be change in a good way. There is no excuse for poverty. There is no excuse for poverty, hunger, starvation, and people not having food, water, nourishment, and shelter. There is no excuse for that in this crazy, crazy world, in this modern world, where information is spread everywhere at your fingertips at a command. People order something and there it is. The modern times, people, if you have, that's again, order something if you have the income or the financial ability to do so. And there's so many struggling, and it's uncalled for. And people are still quitting their jobs in a struggling time like this. People blame it on the fact that they were getting payments from the government, but that was going on all this time to people that were taking advantage of the system. These people are suddenly seeing that they're not getting anywhere in these jobs, and things are costing so much, and they're not paying them anymore. And then they grow old of old age and have nothing to their name, and you're not able to save anything if you're lucky enough to draw anything whatsoever when you're elderly, if you make it that long. And we all struggle in a changing world, but not changing enough for the better. And there is no excuse for hunger, for poverty, starvation, people not having clean water and food and shelter, and financial gain. There's no excuse for that in this world. With the advancement of technology and the availability of resources, we have an ability to transfer resources worldwide, and yet people go without. That's just wrong. And they'll only do something if it benefits them financially in this current system. And there are people desperately in need. There's no excuse for it. I know I'm just preaching to the choir, I guess. You already know that. All already know it. But there is no excuse for any of that. With the technological advancements and the resources of resource availability we have spread worldwide, and people holding it, those groups holding it hostage, it's just and just not allowing what we can have to flourish. It's crazy. Anyway, peace. Signing out.